Hey everyone. I don't know how to properly start this. So I think the first thing I'll do is just say this here is a better game. So, Sonic Forces first thoughts, impressions, which is weird because I think this is the first time I've ever done first impressions for a game I've already beaten. Yes, I've beaten the main story. I haven't played Episode Shadow, nor have I played any of the missions, nor have I done all the red rings or any of the mini games, which is why I'm still calling this the first impressions. And I swear to God, this is one of the weirdest fucking games, man. I don't know how to fucking I don't know how to properly. I've never felt this off about after playing a Sonic game, which is saying a lot considering how inconsistent this series is. At least in the 3D era, it's been insanely inconsistent. I legitimately cannot put a finger on how to describe this game because honestly, if you objectively look at this game, the game is fucking bad. Like, that's not even an argument. The game is fucking bad. But if you're asking my personal experience, the game is still bad, but like I can't say I think it's like garbage. I think putting it like a 5. Alright, I'll put it this way. If I put this at like a 7, which is where I would probably put it as like a 7, this is like a fucking 6. A 6 or 5 depending on my mood. Okay, so let me explain why this has been so hard for me. Let's talk about things and we'll kind of just go through it. Okay, first thing first, the controls are worse. The controls are worse on all 3 fronts. Classic Sonic, modern Sonic, and because the OC character is pretty much modern Sonic with a weapon, same thing. They all have worse controls than what they did in Generations or any of the previous games that use the same gameplay style. Let me explain to you why these controls are worse. First off, how did you do this? How did you fuck up this? This baffles me. What they essentially did is they gave momentum to the OC character in modern Sonic, which means in certain situations you can end up building up momentum and fucking flying off a stage because even though you're timing your jump, the momentum takes you way further than you would think. Whereas classic Sonic seems to have like way less momentum than he used to. He also he's not able to Batnik bounce as consistently as he could, on top of the fact that it doesn't take him up high enough for it to really be a useful tool. They took off the drift of this game, which is really, and see, it didn't even bother me too much when they took the drift off until I realized how annoying certain parts of this game are. Because they've increased the momentum of modern Sonic's gameplay style, that means that you can go flying off a fucking edge in this game because there's no goddamn drift. So I have increased momentum, but I have no drift, which the whole point of the drift was to keep me on track and centered. Which is why on the OC stages, every time you turn a curve, it gets automated as fuck half the time in a 3D area. Why? Because they took out the goddamn drift. Well, here's the thought. Why take out the goddamn drift if you're going to automate me through these fucking sections? And the thing is, they don't automate you through all the sections. It seems like primarily in the OC stages is really prevalent. It's not as prevalent in the modern Sonic stages, which is where I had the most problem with it. The fucking momentum issue came into effect during the OC stages 2D sections, where I would try to time a jump and fly right off the goddamn platform, and I'm like, fuck, I just died because the controls are too inconsistent. You can't fucking trust this shit. Also, I don't give a fuck what you say about the Rush games. This game is by far the most automated experience I've ever seen in my fucking life. Holy shit. It's like I can't go like 5 seconds. Well, maybe 5 seconds. I can't go maybe like 20 seconds. I say 5 to 20 seconds without hitting some sort of automation. And it's always something really basic. Like for the OC, like I said, turning corners is automated. Going through loops half the time is automated. And with the fucking grappling hook or running down certain sections, also because there's no goddamn actual physics for goddamn classic Sonic, you can't. Rolling into a ball is no longer a thing. Generations didn't have perfect physics either, but they were better than this because I could still roll into a ball and carry momentum. And people are running around talking about, oh, this game is great. You know what? You want to know what really saves this game? You want to know the real reason why this game isn't as annoying as it probably should be? It's because the levels are so fucking short, which is also a detriment in its own right, but it's part of the reason why this game isn't as offensive as something like maybe Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. Actually, that's actually a big stretch. Something as annoying as probably the Werehog stages in Unleashed. The reason why is because the stage is so short, you don't, even though you notice the automation, even though you can notice the control issues, even though you can notice all these problems, the game moves so fucking quick at such a fast pace, it doesn't like tick me off. Like I'm never in a stage long enough for it to really start pissing me off. And a lot of these stages, and we could get into the other complaints about how the fucking stages are pretty much, I think like, it's like rehashes of like maybe 5 stages looped over and over with just different variants of it. I think it's like Chemical Plant, Green Hill, Central City, the prison base area, and I'm missing one. I'm trying to think what. Oh, and like the Mystic Casino Zone. Those like they literally it's like 5 zones that they're just reusing for each of the characters going through it in different ways. But the good news is, the point I'll give them is that they got relatively creative, and some of these levels actually look fucking beautiful. Surprisingly, even though they're all just variations of like 5 fucking stages. Some of the level gimmicks are pretty cool. I probably would say the Mystic Casino, Mystic Jungle area is like my favorite area aesthetically. I just like the way it fucking looks, and actually I probably would say those are my favorite stages. That's the other thing. Even with the problem, some of these stages are legitimately still fun. That's what fucking makes it hard, because the game is so fucking flawed. It's so goddamn flawed. But it's like, I can replay this and not get pissed off. It's not like we're Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. And to be fair, that's a Sonic Team. That's not a Sonic Team game. But it's not like that's the last other bad game that really pissed me off, where I play the game and I'm sitting there going like, man, this is like it actively makes me go, I do not want to play this game anymore. I have no problem putting this back in and playing it again. I blew through it in 2 days. And the only reason why it took me 2 days was because I was towards the end of the game and I had to go to work the next day. It's hard. It's such a hard game to talk about because I think it's a downgrade in almost every way from the most important parts. Like, to say that the game has pretty decent aesthetics. The cutscenes look like ass, though. I'm going to say that right now. The cutscenes look way watered down and compared to the actual game graphics. The Wisp Bombs are pretty cool. I don't have any problem with it. It actually works for replay value, especially for the OC stages. I like the variation in them. I don't even mind the whole killing all the enemies thing, because the Wisp Bombs are so fucking broken and you only have to hit the attack button like maybe 2 or 3 times, if that, to kill all of them. With the fucking Q-Wisp, it's literally just stand in a wide area, hit it, and hit it again. The final boss is okay. The bosses are alright, even though the game kind of lies to you about how many of them you're actually going to fight in the beginning. I don't mind the story that much. I don't really want to comment on the story as much because of the episode Shadow DLC. And the weird thing is that this is a game kind of like Lost World, that if you patched, I probably wouldn't be as annoyed with it. And granted, it's like in getting back to the whole short level thing, that's a detriment and a pro. It's a detriment because some of these levels have really cool fucking setups, and before the level gets going, you're done. But it also helps because it makes the game insanely fast paced, so you never really get annoyed. Even if you're annoyed with a stage gimmick or a level, you're not in the level for maybe like 2 minutes for the most part, unless it's like a boss stage. It's so fucking hard because mechanically it is the worst. It is the worst 3D game since probably I probably would say either Unleashed or, if we're talking like actual basics, if you want to count Secret Rings and Black Knight, then it's probably worse than Secret Ring. I mean, it's probably, Secret Rings was the last bad game next to it. If I had to be real with you, because I'm counting Sonic Team games, which is why I'm not counting Sonic Boom. If you want to talk about like traditional 3D gameplay that didn't have like a weird gimmick based around it, like Black Knight and Secret Rings did, then I probably would say Sonic 06 or Unleashed. Although I think Unleashed is I would probably play this over Unleashed for the most part. Because Unleashed is a game I don't want to play through entirely. Unleashed is a game I would like to play through part of. I can play through this whole game and be perfectly fine. So I probably would say Unleashed is this thing is better than Unleashed. I think every other Sonic Team game after Unleashed is better than this fucking game. Which means Colors, I'm trying to think, Colors, Generations, and Lost World, I think are the only 3 games that came after. Because Unleashed is 2007, 2008. Colors, I think, is like 2009, 2010. Lost World is 2013. And no, I'm forgetting Generations. Generations was 2011. Colors was 2013. And Forces was 2017. So yeah. I think I would only say in its entirety it's better than Unleashed. I think everything after Unleashed, Sonic Team wise, is better. Which is why I say it's a hard fucking game, because the game mechanically isn't that great. Technically, it's not even better than Unleashed in terms of just technical prowess. But the only reason why I give it over Unleashed is because I don't want to really play Unleashed over again. I will play that over again. Because even though it's not perfect, it's not like it's worse. And that's the other thing. It's worse, but it's not like so offensively worse to the point where it's like I can't fucking play it. It's not like unplayably annoying. It's just fucking annoying, which is the weird thing about the fucking game. It's a weird fucking situation, which is why I say I'm so fucking conflicted about my thoughts on the game, because it's not good, but it's not like offensively bad. So I say it's mediocre. It's a mediocre game that would be a lot worse if it wasn't for certain design choices saving it. If it wasn't that some of the levels look really cool and some of the gimmicks are really cool. The game is fast paced. I'm not dealing with a bunch of bullshit like some other Sonic games I have to deal with. The gameplay is pretty consistent between the 3 play styles. It doesn't feel like they muddled it with any extra fluff, and if they did, it wasn't shit you had to do. It's very straightforward. It tells you what it is. The game's also not $60. So it's not like I got charged full price for it, even though I only paid $20. And the gameplay at its core is still fun. It's just you had to get used to the flawed ass controls, and the controls are flawed. Like, that's just a reality. And once again, if the game got patched, I probably wouldn't even be as against it as I am right now. That's what makes it hard, and I bet you on PC they're already modding it to control better. So if you bought the game on PC, that's something you have to look forward to. But that's the game. Play to win, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.